In February '92, this issue of TurboPlay hit my mailbox. Inside were juicy details about the upcoming Turbo Duo and the restructuring of the TurboGrafx, which, as a North American TG16 fan, sounded great. But what truly caught my eye was this screenshot on the cover. Was Street Fighter II actually coming to the TurboGrafx? That was an exciting thought, but for many reasons, it never reached North America. However, we still had the original PC Engine release in 1993, and this one was truly a champion edition. Do we really need to go into the amazing impact 1991's Street Fighter II The World Warrior had on the video game landscape? Probably not. This one-on-one fighter took arcades by storm, with numerous updates and sequels released for decades to come. I was there at the beginning of it all. As a hardcore arcade gamer at the time, I, along with many friends, slid quarter after quarter onto that control panel, patiently awaiting our turns to battle a stranger. I was also there at launch for the first ever console port on the Super Nintendo. And that brings us to Street Fighter II Champion Edition, the first updated version of the original game. I loved this release, with its slight tweaks, the ability to play as one of the 4 Shadaloo bosses, and even mirror matches against, well, yourself. I placed an order via an import store for the game, along with a PC Engine converter, so, I could play it, and my first ever imported game arrived. It was released on a 20 megabit Hue card, the largest size available on the console. Yeah, see that hump there? That is a mega hump. The question is, how does a game like Champion Edition look, play, and sound on the PC Engine? Let's just say fantastic. While not a flawless conversion, if the goal was to recreate how the game felt in arcades and push the console to its limits, the PC Engine Edition succeeds in almost every way. The arcade experience is replicated quite nicely here. Now, at first glance, the lack of a skyscraper opening sequence and bios may suggest otherwise, but still, all of the characters, menus, fighting locations, continue screens, high score tables, etc. are here. On the main screen, we can select Game Start for single player or Options, where you can adjust the difficulty, controls, and listen to a sound test. Holding Select between opponents will bring up a button configuration window as well. At the character selection screen, you'll notice that everyone is here from all over the world, and if you hit Run instead of a button to choose a fighter, you will select their alternate color for play. Since this is a Japanese release, the bosses retain their original names versus being swapped around in North America. That's right, it's time for some M. Bison's Punch-Out! If you have a Turbo Tap inserted in multiple controllers, you can also select Versus Battle for 2 players. The best 2 out of 3 gameplay structure is intact. You simply engage an opponent one-on-one, trying to deplete their energy before the timer runs out. In 1-player mode, you work up through the roster, along with, in this port, 2 bonus levels, until you've defeated everyone in sight and the ending appears. Or, you can also unlock the credits by being an undefeated master. I know, duh, right? Well, the PC Engine version does a great job keeping this gameplay solid while also replicating the original arcade experience and speed. No turbo goodies are included here. The manual suggests you play with the 6-button controller called the Avenue 6-pad. You can find some on eBay today. It works very well, and most prefer to experience the PC Engine version this way, and I can't disagree with that. But if we look at things from the perspective of a young me in North America playing on my American TurboGrafx back in the day, then we have just 4 simple buttons available. You have Run for weaker attacks, Button 2 for medium attacks, and Button 1 for strong attacks. Hitting Select switches these buttons between punch and kick. I truly thought I was going to hate this, being so used to the arcade controls, and a lot of people do. But after a short while, it was very easy to learn. Stretching your thumb to select isn't the best, but as you start zoning out during a match, you'll just do it. Your mind almost says, should I start with a punch or a kick here? And you'll hit select accordingly before a match even begins. I guess after years of playing the game, this controller setup added an additional challenge and fun I wasn't expecting. The good news is that all of the special moves can be executed near perfectly in this version. Let's face it, reaction time is critical here, and the PC Engine port is extremely solid in the control department, whether it's a Hadouken, a Sonic Boom, a spinning bird kick, or a head press. Comparing this port to other games on the console, along with my own personal expectations, I was blown away at the visual presentation. The colors pop like they usually do. The animation is great, and the amount of layers, textures, and detail is very arcade accurate. The backgrounds are lacking a little here and there, but as a whole, this game truly shows off excellent work by some dedicated people. The sound is also really solid. There is a lot of speech, and it is of a good quality. The familiar sound effects are also very effective. The music is also good. It has a slight scratchiness that detracts a bit at times, and a few compositions lack some strength. But again, since it was on HuCard and not CD, I would say it is quite an achievement. Each character's end of battle and ending sequence is here, although the type is in Japanese. But since all of the spoken dialogue is in English, the language barrier isn't really an issue. While the single-player mode is excellent, 2 players can have just as much fun. The action is fast, and the controls solid, even when you and a buddy are beating each other senseless. The fact is, Street Fighter II Champion Edition on the PC Engine is excellent. It holds up to other ports of various editions, and considering the console it appears on, is quite a fantastic achievement. My memories are quite high here as well. You see, as a kid, I would bring my Turbo Express to school with the converter and Champion Edition installed. For a handheld at the time, this was a pretty impressive version to show off. Although, the 6 batteries only made it until maybe the bus ride home. There isn't much more to say. A few things are missing, sure. A few things aren't perfect, yes. But as a whole, Street Fighter II Champion Edition on the PC Engine is a fantastic conversion of a wonderful game. For you, the day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.